Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Now, if you're watching this, that probably means you fell for my clickbaity title. Will this video get 1,000 views? The answer is probably no. And this is just something that, has been on my mind the last couple of weeks. I know I've done videos kind of going after the, YouTube algorithm, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't bother me like it does, but it does. And I know right off the bat, I'm going to be getting comments and messages from friends saying, don't worry about the numbers, just do it for the fun of it, blah, blah, blah. And yes, I do that. There's a lot of videos that I put out that when I'm making them, I'm thinking to myself, I know for a fact this video is not going to get 100 views. I know for a fact this video might not get 50 views. But those are the types of videos that I like to put out. I do a lot of concert reviews, especially this year. I've been to a lot of shows this spring already and have a couple more lined up. So you'll be getting more concert reviews from me. You'll be getting one this week. I'm seeing a show on tomorrow night at the time of filming this. So you'll be getting a concert review probably on Wednesday on this channel. And I will venture to say it probably won't get 100 views. It might get 100, it might get 500. I don't know. We never know. We never know when our videos are going to blow up. We obviously like to jump on within a time frame of something, especially something that's topical. Like when I do concert reviews, I prefer not to do them 2 days out. I would, in an ideal world, like to record it the night of and then have it either post that night or the next day. Because like a lot of YouTube folk, I record some videos that I instantly put online. I also do several videos where I will schedule it for, a week out, a day out, whatever it might be. There's different reasoning behind doing some of that. Some of it has to do with it's not a topical conversation. It's just something that might be a discussion that has nothing to do with anything. Like this video won't perform better today than if I were to post it on Thursday. This is just a topic that I was thinking about and wanted to kind of go off the cuff on. Again, I don't have any preconceived notion about what this video is really about or simply just a slight ramble kind of with YouTube and trying to figure things out. As many of you know, I have been doing YouTube videos for over 5.5 years. I think I started in December of 2020, a little bit before Christmas, maybe just after Christmas. I don't remember. It was December of 2020. And it is now almost the middle of May 2026. So I've been doing this for a good bit of time, and I've figured out some things that work. I have figured out things that don't work. I have figured out camera angles. This is the second video that I'm recording in this way with my phone on a stand, with me standing up, with stuff behind me, light is right above me, all these different things that we like to look at and discuss and figure out on our own. And we talk to friends like, hey, this seems to be working for you. Can I do this? Or can I, recommend you do this? That's what we do. And we want our friends to succeed. And we want our, friends that have channels smaller than ours to rise up because we know that they have a lot of knowledge. And again, this is not something that, sits with me and keeps me up at night. But it's something, when I'll post a video, for example, and it's topical. I do a lot of album announcements. I don't do every album announcement because I don't want it to be that kind of channel. Because for the most part, you can find these, this information for these big names as soon as they come out. I did one for the Rolling Stones record. an album that I'm legitimately excited for because I loved their album Hackney Diamonds from about 3 years ago. So I wanted to announce it because it's something that I love. I'm not going to announce something that I know would be a big a big view catcher if it's something I'm not interested in. Like, for example, I'm a somebody big like Prince. Let's say somebody like Prince, who is well respected. He is talked about a lot on YouTube by a lot of people. There are a lot of people that go in all over his archive stuff. He's obviously somebody with a massive back catalog that we haven't even heard all of it yet, especially now that he has passed and the estate kind of has the rights to do what they wish with some of that material. And there have been posthumous releases. Somebody like Michael Jackson, somebody like, I don't know, even Neil Young, just thinking about these big names that we hear so much. They're all artists that I like. They're all artists that I respect. But for my taste, it's not something that I'm going to buy. It's not something that I'm going to listen to, even though I know it might draw views. Like if they announce tomorrow that, Neil Young is releasing his entire catalog on, wax acetate, I don't know. That's not a video I'm going to make because I don't listen to Neil Young like that. And it's not something that I'm going to do a lot of. Now, obviously, we've all, I would say, done a video that we put out that we are hoping will do well. Like we put a video out, we put work into a video, and we really want it to do well because it makes us as, YouTubers, we're not, there's this whole world of, content creator. Are you in the VC? Are you VC adjacent? Are you a music-based channel that's not in the vinyl community? Are you an influencer? Like all of these different things. We all have our own level of success, I should say. And obviously, I think everybody that puts out videos, to an extent, wants their video to do well. Now, if that's a person that has 2 subscribers and they get 50 views on a video, that's success. If it's somebody that has 1,000 subscribers and they get 1,000 views on a video, is that success? We all have our own gauges. It's kind of like, we win the lottery, but there's always that part of us that's like, there's just a little bit more that we want. We could have had the next step, like, if we have put in our numbers for this lottery ticket, then we could be, another $1 million richer. Instead, we just have to deal with $5 million instead of 6. It's just one of those things that we deal with as human beings, as flawed human beings, because we are. I think one of the things that really, one of the things that really gets under my skin, and my friends that are out there that I talk to, all the time in the YouTube world, they know this, and this is something that, I struggle with as somebody that enjoys listening and watching content that has some sort of educational value to it. I started watching YouTube videos really probably 2 or 3 years before COVID. It was kind of between when I graduated from college in 2016 to the end of 2020 when I started this channel. That I was kind of looking at different music channels and listening to different interviews. And I was really big for a while listening to the radio. I was listening to NPR a lot. In the evenings, there was a big band show and there was a jazz show. And the jazz show is something that really was instrumental in getting me into listening to, stuff like Mingus or Time Out by Dave Brubeck or Kind of Blue or Love Supreme. I was listening to this 2-hour-long jazz show on the local independent stations and was like, wow, this is giving me a mood that I want in music. Sitting in my room on a Saturday night, listening to jazz, listening to the big band music, which always reminds me of this time of year as we're approaching the unofficial start of summer here in a couple of weeks here in the States with Memorial Day. It's all stuff that has a sentimental it taps into something for me. But I'm also learning as I'm listening to new music, and I think we all want to learn by listening just to the music itself. Whether that is jazz, whether that's rock, whether that's rap, whether that's country, whether that's bluegrass, whatever is your niche of music, you should be learning from it. And whether it's, learning about things that are good, whether it's learning about things that are bad, music should be something that's fully experienced. And I think part of that full experience is learning about it, learning about the background, learning about, production crews, learning about who plays sessions. Again, for us nerds, obviously there are people out there that just listen to music as background noise, and that's okay. I can never be that person. Just like I can never be somebody that could sit down and read 100 books in a year. There are people that do it. I know people that do it, and they love it. They do it the same way that I listen to, hundreds of records a year. They have like an end of the year list where they say, I've read 150 books, and I'm like, great. I wish I could do that, but I want to listen to records. I want to play guitar. That's where my outlet is. That's where my peace is. All that to say, a couple years ago, I really tried to make this channel a little bit more education based. I know it's not, a lot of what I do is kind of what we all do. I like to show what I bought once a month. I love doing that video because it gives me a chance to talk about music that I wouldn't dedicate a full video to, but I'm like, hey, here's this new, folk record that I know people aren't really going to be interested in, and I don't really want to do a whole video about it, but here's a couple minutes on this record and why you should buy this record. So I enjoy doing that stuff. I enjoy doing the concert reviews because they allow me to rehash a memory, and really lets me record and keep a memory as a video. But I've also moved to the interview kind of format, and I know I've got a lot of people here on YouTube that are also doing interviews, and it's an awesome feeling when us just, base at our baseline, we're music fans. We're all music fans. Whether we're somebody on YouTube that, used to work for, a famous nightclub, or somebody that, worked in record stores, or somebody that was an artist manager that end up making these channels, I think we all have a groundwork of being a music fan first. Otherwise, we wouldn't make videos. We wouldn't be passionate about talking and recommending music to people. And one of the things that I really, really find that humbles me is when I get a hold of an artist or an HR representative for a record company or whatever it might be, and I'm able to secure an interview. And what makes me even prouder is when one of these record companies reaches out to me and says, hey, I was thinking about your channel, and I have an up-and-coming artist who I really think would be a nice guest. So some of the artists that I have interviewed, and I haven't done many, I've done about 10 on this channel, and have kind of different irons in the fire of a bunch of different other interviews that could potentially happen, because you always got to keep asking for more to keep that momentum going. Otherwise, you kind of fall back and stall. And I really enjoy talking to artists who are not household names. They might not even be on a big label. They might not be somebody that even opens for artists that you've never heard of. But they're artists, and they're people that are focusing in on their artistic craft. And I just feel, I always get so excited when I look at my inbox and my emails and see, a few names that I've now come to recognize, different managers and things that have said, hey, would you like to do this? And if I'm available, I'm probably going to say yes. That's just what I'm going to do. It's a great experience for me, and I might learn something from this artist. Having said all of that, interviews do not do well on YouTube. Now, they don't do well for the the middle class YouTuber. I would say that's most of the VC. And by VC, I'm saying vinyl community. For if anybody's coming in that's new, you've obviously got your big channels. You've got your Beato. You've got your Otis Gibbs. These channels that are based in that format. And now Anthony Mason of CBS has a new channel, which I do recommend. It's called Alchemy. Just one episode out. He's going to be interviewing musicians and actors. His first episode was with Hozier, and it's very good. So check that out. So I'm, plugging Anthony Mason, who does not need my help at all. But what is so fascinating is people don't draw themselves into learning more about the very thing that we're all so passionate about. So, we'll have 4,000 views on, a rehashing of Abbey Road by the Beatles. Yet I could sit down with, I could get an interview with, Giles Martin, George Martin's son, post it on my channel, get a couple hundred views. Part of it might be because they're more long form videos, even though the podcast game has really accelerated in terms of popularity, and the long form video has really become a new outlet on YouTube. YouTube used to really be about the quick hits. And then obviously we got the YouTube shorts, which I, ashamed to say that I do use YouTube shorts from time to time. I'll go through little spells where I'll do it and then stop. But kind of, the TikTok format of recording of the quick 30-second video. But for some reason, it's these videos where we're giving the viewer an insight into the mind of an artist, the mind of an executive, the mind of a producer. Those are some of my favorite videos that my friends put out. My buddy Alex, I'm going to mention his name over at Beer and Vinyl, does a fantastic job with interviews. And he's interviewed some really, really interesting people. And it's fascinating. And some of these people, I don't know. I don't know them. But I listen because I'm like, ooh, I'm going to get insight into the mind of, somebody like Terry Cole, who is the one of the founders of Coal Mine Records out of Ohio, or, listening to surviving members of the group Blue Ash, who I didn't know anything about until, getting some messages from Alex and watching those videos. I got to interview Glenn Gretland of 7A Records. He is the founder of a record label. He's a founder of the very thing that we're collecting here on YouTube. And those videos, as interesting and as fun as they are, do not pick up speed. And to me, as a music fan, that is very disheartening. Will it stop me from making them? Absolutely not. I have got to meet some fantastic people. I connected with Glenn Gretland several years ago because I was posting reviews of albums that you might not have heard of from his label. And he loved it. And I've been able to do a couple of very cool things with 7A Records. I have, again, reached out on a whim to a massive artist. Might not get that interview, but then I'm like getting messages from his manager that's like, hey, so-and-so can't do this, but we have this person. Would you like to do that? So now I'm like, ooh, well, I'm now on the radar of, this artist's manager. And I think that's awesome. Like, my channel is not a big channel. My channel does not sway a massive group of people into buying a record or not buying a record. I know that it probably will not get to that point because that's not my type of channel. I am here to present my honest opinions on things. I'm here to be genuine, which is why you rarely see any kind of editing throughout the video unless it's absolutely necessary. And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to do concert reviews on bands and artists that you've never heard of. I'm going to continue doing album reviews for albums you've never heard of. And I will do the occasional video that is likely to get, big numbers for my channel, big numbers being over 200 views. But I want to talk about the stuff that I want to talk about. And I know, again, I will appreciate anybody that reaches out or that comments on this video. And I know, I said it at the beginning, I'll say it now that we're over 20 minutes. I am still doing this channel for fun. I am not yet making any kind of money on this channel. So I'm not getting stuff, promotional copies sent to me. I'm getting the interviews because I have reached out a lot to different artists and am getting interviews scheduled for my channel. So this is all out of my pocket. It's all, produced here in my, music listening room, and maybe a couple of quick edits through my phone. But that's just the kind of channel that I am. That's just what I'm going to be. Am I frustrated that a lot of good information that I think I put out there goes unnoticed? Absolutely. It's like anything that anybody creative does. If you're a songwriter and your song only gets heard by a couple people and you're like, I know my song is better than this. If you're an artist and you set up an art show in like your local gallery and only, your mom and dad come, you want it to get out more to the world. So I'm very thankful, very, very thankful. I'll end with this because I'll keep going and I don't want to do that. I do want to thank everybody that watches every video, that comments, that likes, that shares, that sends me kind words, that I've worked with on YouTube through all sorts of different collaborations with friends, with new people that I meet all the time on here. I love it. I'm so thankful for all the friends that I've made on YouTube. I'm so thankful for every single view that I've received, whether that's on a video that gets 40 views or a video that gets 3,000. I'm thankful for every single one, and I will continue doing what I'm doing. Just needed to throw all this out there, kind of throw it out. Who knows what it'll do. It was just on my mind a lot the last week or so. So I thought I would just put it out there. But anyway, like I said, I've got a concert review coming probably on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Who knows if there's anything tomorrow that comes out. We'll see if there's an announcement or something. I don't know. I don't really plan that much for the scheduling of my videos. But anyway, I'm rambling. That does it for me. In the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. And we will see you on the next one. Bye now.